will protect us.
It is good to see Gorhart overcome the fear that it harboured for so long. As far as I am concerned, all Fae are welcome here. The Gnome's Tower stands to the west, past Gorhart and beyond the ruins of Alistar Glade. However, no one should seek Alistar. Its secrets should be kept. I buried everything I was when I buried my family. That is the war's legacy for many of us. That is all I have the strength to say. The forests of this region are one of the densest in all of Amalur, and the stretch from Alistar to Issa. Those of us who live in the shadow of its canopy call Dalantarth the Feylands, because this is where these fair folk have their seat of power. Find the fair folk if you wish to learn the ways of magic. They understand this world in a way that is hidden from mortals. You will find many Fae in Dalantarth, as it is one of their ancestral homes. This has been my home ever since my love was taken by the Tuatha. After such a loss, one craves quiet, but it seems that the war has followed me here. I require a nominal fee only so I may eat and have a bed to call my own. The glorious Alfar city to the east is where the forces of right gather to face the Tuatha. It is an enchanting place with a long history of magic. Magic is a natural wonder, no matter how you use it. The Tuatha are the exception. Their power is tainted, and it has caused a grave imbalance. Be careful out there. May I help you? Be safe.
These are strange times.
May I help you? Be careful out there.
Greetings! Welcome. Back. Incredible. You're alive. The gods are good, my friend. Now, tell me, is today my lucky day? I knew the gem was cursed. I overheard Faye speak of it, and of the great trickster Armen. But the curse is worth the agony. Imagine the gold! So, you found out. Gelt told you, did he? No matter. The amulet is cursed. That old fool in Emer won't want it back. Wonderful. Give it here. The amulet itself isn't worth the stone it's made from, but it's the story that interests me. Something of Armen's belongs to me. I don't have much in the way of gold, but I have acquired quite the collection of useful items in my, travels. That's why I like you. You prefer action to debate. You will go far because of it. Like me. Well, like me before I was betrayed and left for dead. I am a refugee, heading west from the Tawili coast. A grieving son leaving his dead mother behind. To think there is scum that would steal a man's sole inheritance. Bye.
Hello there. Care to join me in my work? You look like you could use a few moments of quiet reflection. This warped old rod? I can't imagine why you'd have any interest in it. It's a patchwork piece, cobbled together from bits and bobs. However, I did invest many hours of my life in its construction. My hands still bear the calluses. I would part with it for a price. I couldn't have parted with it for any less, you understand. A man's handiwork is still worth something. Enjoy the piece, and good day. Be well.
Greetings. You're in my path, stranger. I ask that you step aside before I cast you off the cliffs. I hold it as dear as any fae, but my time had come. However, I took a piece of the cradle with me, a part of a weapon I was meant to protect. I'd earned that right. Can't you feel it? Ever since the Withering War, this stretch of earth has been enchanted. Some prefer to call it cursed, but I see all of this magic as a blessing. I walk the broken hills and ravines, searching for the answers to this question. What lies across the sea? Who is calling me with her fiery breath and knowing whisper? I was once part of the deep slumber, but wished to depart the dreaming to pursue something that is more familiar to mortals like you. Ambition. For seasons, I dwelled in the cradle of summer, as is my role in the telling. But something called to me from beyond the sea. A whisper of power and corruption. I fought our winter court enemies right here on this soil. But it was all in vain. The seasons pass as they always have, and always will. There is no ending the winter. That's laughable. I don't know you, I don't trust you, and I don't like the looks of you. I'm plagued by visions of what your kind call the future. A telling beyond the present. It is all because of this new god. She clouds my thoughts, confuses me. You appeal to me using your mortal sense of guilt, something I truly do not understand. However, my role in the telling does not include Riven or Tarsus. Take my staff. The peace you seek is within. May it bring clarity to the deep slumber. Go on.
You look familiar.
talked with the General yet? You should be just what the General's looking for.
Save me. Oh, good. You again. Don't you dare leave me here to this life of isolation and drudgery. I can teach you things. Important things. Just don't be a stranger.
Oh, hello. Good day. I am Anchor Edmure, scholar and novice sagecrafter. Of course, I may not be a novice much longer. Not after the Scholia Arcana reads my latest discoveries. I've lived in Amalur for many years, uneventfully so. But recent events have led me to believe that my time here is all part of a greater destiny. You see, my apprentice Donald and I have noticed strange weather patterns that occur only in the Forsaken Plain. I don't have answers yet, but we will. Very few have noticed, but the temperature around the Forsaken Plain is dropping. It's so slight that you wouldn't even feel the chill unless you knew to expect it. I don't know the cause of this phenomenon, but I'm sure whatever it is will greatly interest the Scholia Arcana. I follow the strains of magic to this spot, across fields and forests and overseeing stone. There's a great power resting beneath Amalur. It's ancient, wild. They are the supreme authorities on magic, and for years I have petitioned them for membership. Unfortunately, they have yet to recognize my scholarship. Farewell.
Need a hand?
How goes the search? I see you've obtained some of the papers. Excellent. Keep looking. Keep your eyes open.
Need a hand?
Please, make yourself comfortable. We don't see too many travelers in a mare these days. Not with that forest of tents growing out front. Relax and partake of what our small hamlet has to offer. This is the birthplace of alchemy in the Feylands. These plains have been soaked in the deepest magic. Every leaf, every stem, every root holds secrets. If you want to know more about our history and about the fascinating flora and fauna of the Forsaken Plain, speak to Molly upstairs. She's a sweetie. Refugees from the coast of Twili. They claim their village was burned by Tuatha, but I know better. The Tuatha here in the realm of the Summer Court? I think not. They began arriving several weeks ago, marching from Galafor with their belongings dragged behind them. We've given them all we can, but we only have so much. No problem. We just fixed one up all nice and tidy. You're welcome to it. Well, you know where to go if you need a place to... rest. We'll be here if you need us.
the last one.
You've gone and killed the spiders. How grand, how very grand. Normally I don't condone the killing of innocent creatures, but those are so creepy. You are too kind. From now on, you are considered a valued customer to all the Janiks. Everything is cheaper for the Spider Slayer. That is your name, isn't it? So long.
What do you want? Do you always approach strangers out in the wild? It's a bad habit, to be sure. I don't care where we are. All I care about is finding some place to call home. So if they can keep their blasted battle, their glory, I just want a decent night's sleep. I was a seamstress who made nets for the coastal fishermen. My hands may be callous, but they're strong. Few of us had even spoken to each other before the Tuatha came, but tragedy has a way of throwing disparate souls together. What kind of question is that? You want to know about the Tuatha? Go back to Tawili. Gaze at the fires that never cease. There's your education. What was I supposed to do? The Tuatha will sow terror far beyond Tawili to the depths of Dalentarth if they can. I only did it for the money. But I will never do it again, you have my word. Spare me, please. Bye.
Lord Crass does not pay me to make conversation. I'm only here to protect him from the Freeman, so keep your distance. It's hot, not Detir hot, but dry enough to choke a barghest. If you must know, I hate the heat. My delicate skin can't handle the exposure. I'm joking with you, fool. I don't speak ill of my masters. Nice try. They're not a very organized group. Well, that's what makes them unpredictable. As far as bandits go, the Freemen aren't the worst, but they know how to get the job done. You'll find bands of them here and there across the Forsaken Plain, just waiting to filch what they can from the unprepared. That's why I'm here. I am not a man of means, so I must serve those who can provide for me. Not one of the nobles I've protected has fallen at the hands of his enemies. One of them was crippled by his wife, but that's a whole other story entirely.
Welcome. I know our little camp doesn't look like much, but it's home. After all, what is home but a place where people love you? I am Lord Crass, heir to Dolve Arn, and soon to be mayor of New Culn. It is no place for these people. I've seen many sorrowful sights in my travels abroad, and nothing could have prepared me for the suffering I've witnessed here. If what they say is true, then the Forsaken Plain is truly cursed. Only the Fae could have spoiled a place so utterly. To them, death is just a new beginning. My cousin Cliath Arn abandoned Dolve Arn for a life of waste and frivolity in Rathir. When the war began, I was forced to hand everything over to the Alfar army, except Erlich here. I will return one day. It is my birthright. The war took everything these poor folk possessed. Their farms, their families, their future. Now they search for hope in a hopeless land. At Dolve Arn, I was born into wealth, into prestige, and I took it for granted. That is why I've devoted myself to raising these good people up. Out here? No. I have not seen any Tuatha on this long, treacherous road. However, there are plenty of other dangers to avoid. Trust me. Bandits prowl the high cliffs to the east, and there is talk of spies among the refugees. But I am not one to heed rumors and suspicions. Ah, I'm glad you asked. The village of Culn was a place of peace, of prosperity. Now it is little more than ashes and bones. But by burning our homes, the Tuatha have kindled in us a fire for survival. We will build a new Kuln. All I need is the gold to support this bold undertaking, possibly by retrieving the treasures of Kuln. Care to help? There are many valuables, but only a chosen few will fetch the kind of gold we need to begin construction. A painting, an urn, a box, and some jewelry. A nobler soul I've never met. Now, here is what I intend to do, because like all good leaders, I have a plan. My plan involves the treasures of Kuln. The people of this good village were not mere farmers, but members of the highest strata. Their collection of valuables was truly second to none. To safeguard those possessions, and because many proved cumbersome on this long journey, they hid them. I want you to bring them to me. Sadly, we will need to sell them. The items are in Bitter Cove, east of here near the hills. It was deserted when we spent the night there, but I fear it's been occupied since then. Goodbye.
What?
We must. Lord Crass has vowed to protect us.
Stop staring at me. I'm not doing anything strange. You're the outsider here. Tuatha? Are you mad? The only thing I know about the Tuatha is how they killed my cousins and put my granary to the torch. Who told you? Was it Froma? I knew she was weak. I need the gold, okay? The Tuatha took everything. The least I can do is take their money. Listen, spare me and I'll leave. Disappear. Just go where they can never find me. That's a promise. I worked in my uncle's granary. I hated it. But I guess that doesn't matter now. I'll take the little gold I have left and start my own business. Someplace safe, I hope. I'm just here. What do you want me to say? My farm was burned just like everyone else's. They had farms in Culm, right? They aren't so scary. People round here are just bitter because the Tuatha destroyed their lives. I guess it's mostly a matter of perspective. Goodbye.
I saw you coming. Hope you'd visit. Just about mad with worry. What with the freemen roaming the hills and caverns. Tell me, child, have you noticed a young woman about? She's quite fair, with red hair, a tattoo like mine across her cheek. It's been 3 days. My newfound love, and the only person I have. Everyone, my wife, my son, my grandchildren, all of them were killed in the attacks. Nothing remains but Lyra. She and several of her friends went in search of a better place to make our camp. This wretched sun takes its toll, doesn't it? But they never returned, and I worry. Would you do an old man this one kindness? Would you help me find her? Thank you. I am not rich, not anymore. But what I have left to give is yours. It means nothing without my love. Lyra went in search of refuge in Oriata's tomb. A better place than this desolate cliff. I would try the cemetery on the hill where they buried all the old war heroes. She and her friends were crawling all over the hill near Oriata's tomb. Not exactly the way to show respect, but she meant well. Their campfires burn all through the night and cast unsettling shadows. They're the worst kind of bandits. Those who don't kill for excess, but for necessity. She resisted my advances at first. Tried to use our differences in age to deny the connection. But in the end, fate played its beautiful hand. We began as friends. I was the hunter and she was my apprentice. But her skills quickly surpassed my own. She is a gifted woman, a true wonder. I am no one. Everything that defined me, my livelihood, my family, my home, all of them were left ash by the Tuatha. Lyra is my life now. A fitting memorial for a great man. He saved our people from complete destruction. If I had the strength, I would climb that hill and pay my respects. None of us wish to be without a roof over our heads, begging for our meals from any man or woman who passes us by. It's not what any of us planned. It was fate. Be careful.
You're a welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill here. Thanks for the assistance. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Detir, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain. For every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill, you name it. Not all of us are from the village of Kulm. We come from all along the Tawili coast. Farmers and merchants, veterans and scholars. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as leaders like Lord Crass and Elrod Edmund act as our standard bearers. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave, but not just any grave. The last resting place of Azo Raymond, richest of the Tawili merchants. They say he died early in the march west, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north, and another pair of eyes will be a huge advantage. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. It's a pity they couldn't do more. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erethel. He moved west with the refugees. But the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to mourn him. If I knew, I wouldn't be hiking all over this hill, reading names on worn gravestones. With my luck, it's on the other side of the Forsaken Plain. Bye.
I knew someone would come. They all said we were as good as dead, but I held out hope. I don't know why. Never had any reason to hope before. So what's your story? Grave robber? Treasure hunter? Or like us, a refugee in search of shelter? See you. This situation isn't getting any better, is it? Now, instead of 4 of us being stuck here, we're 5. You did? Well, here I was about to start complaining about them. We've been trapped down here for days, unable to get past those blades, and you simply walk in and disable them, just like that. I'm impressed. I'll say thanks, but the person you're really going to want to talk to is Oma. He'd move mountains to find me. Come along now. The others are waiting back at camp. The name fits. We didn't have an easy life when we farmed the fields below Kulm, but it was nothing like this. If the bandits don't get you, the starvation will. She's from the camp on the hill leading into a mare. She's a liar and a thief. Twice I've caught her sneaking into our tents to steal food. Worse than a boggart. Oma Vogard was Kulm's primary hunter, but it wasn't long after the Tuatha attacked that his hands gave out. Now I can't even hold a bow without shaking. I took over his job, and his heart. I tend to stalk my prey as opposed to shoot it. Something about looking it in the eye before it dies. There's respect in that. He is my beloved. Yes, there is a difference in our ages, but I believe that Omer's experiences have given him a lust for life, one to rival a man with half his years. I don't know much about Oriator, but what they taught in the village schoolhouse, before it was burned down. He was a war hero. Gallifore Fields, I'd gather. We probably could have sought refuge in Mathir, but there is no way that Dokkalfar would have allowed us to stay. But if we don't belong there, where do we belong? Bye.
I knew I could count on you to bring her back. I could see it in your eyes. A spark of recognition. You have a love too. Or did at one point, you know. There is no thanks worthy of this deed. But you were entitled to something. I was a hunter once. Those days are finished. Yours, it seems, are just beginning. You'd best leave.
Good day.
Just in time.
May I help you? It took much gold to secure a permanent residence here, and for reassurances that there would be few questions.
Where did you hear that name? The man you speak of is dead, and all of his wealth has died with him. I told you, I don't know the man. Enough. You're persistent, I understand. What do you want? I want no part of that old life. Not the gold, not the reputation, not the worry. I made that false grave because I was tired of people hounding me for salvation. Wish to know where my money is? I'll tell you. It's gone. All gone. All I have left are my family rings. I just want to be left alone, to start over. Can't you appreciate that? Please, show me some mercy. So it's blackmail, then? My new life is worth more than any jewelry. You should learn that now, lest they try to put a knife in your back. Goodbye. Good day.
Be careful.
I'm just about ready to give up. Tell me, have you heard any news of Britt Hagney or his final resting place? Great Mithoru! You're even more dazzling than I dared hope. You could have kept them, but you didn't. You are a friend of the Forsaken Plain refugees, and to me. Please, it is paltry, but accept this as thanks. May the Authority watch over you all of your days.
You're staring.
This is a nice view.
Remarkable. The treasures of Culm. They are more beautiful than I remember. This is truly an achievement, one that will shape the days to come, I promise you. You will have it, as you deserve something equal to the great service you have done me and the refugees. I have acquired many tools and weapons during this long journey west. I have set them aside to use in constructing New Culm, but I now offer them to you. You are welcome to one item from my private hoard as thanks. Erlich will accompany you, of course. His spear may come in handy along the way. Goodbye.
What?
Well, here we are. It's time to get started. And by that I mean I'm supposed to kill you, here, away from the eyes of the refugees. As you've probably guessed, there is no reward. There never was. Kras is probably halfway to Rathir by now. Never trust nobles, my friend, even false ones. Now, I'm not in the mood for killing at the moment, but orders are orders. I suppose you're right. He never did treat me well, tricky fellow. You know what? You go and give him a scare. Bloated fool deserves it.
My ship is free, and its course is yours to plot, my friends. Were it not war-sworn asking, I wouldn't sail such treacherous northern waters or set foot on an island so long forsaken. But for you, I'll go. I'll go.
Get me out of here. You? How in the... Erlek, that turncoat. I never should have trusted a liar to commit murder. That's what murderers are for. What do you want? Of course I did. I'm not the Lord of Dolve-Arn. I'm not even from the Tawili coast. But what does it matter? I only did what I had to do. Don't we all? The Rathir authorities don't have to know. Keep this quiet and let me sail with this galley, and you can have the gold I received for the treasures of Koln. I am a man of my word. Most of the time. No! You wretch! You will rue the day you betrayed Kras. Do you hear me? Come back.
For today, see tomorrow.
Good day, traveler.
The road has been long for you, my friend. You wear the dust of a job well done. I thank you. The people of the Tawili coast thank you. I have seen much savagery on the eastern shores. May it stay there, where blood fills the boots of the fallen. We all do our part. You have done yours. Stay vigilant.
There's roof beams to cut, thatch and wattle to collect, and daub to form. We'll need more rope, more pulleys, and more than a fair bit of luck. I'm sorry, stranger. It seems I'm the man to get this village rebuilt. I have to get the next few months of work straightened out. I'm glad you were here and able to set it right again. It seemed like the forest itself was coming to destroy Canarok. Keep safe.
I'm sorry for being hysterical with you earlier. I lost a husband to those monsters before you arrived, and I was sure to lose my son. But you've saved us, Billis and I. I thank you for that, and wish I had something for your trouble. I'll give you all I can. He'll have us carrying wooden swords and marching to our deaths. He doesn't care about this town. You can see it in his face. I run the inn here in Canarok. Nice, respectable way to make coin, unlike those foolish silk farmers. Maybe if the inn was in a fit state, but there aren't any rooms for rent right now. You're welcome to sleep if you can find a spare bit of floor. How most in town made their living before the attacks, collecting the webs from the wood and weaving it into cloth and such. Damn scavengers. She's as old as Webwood and twice as menacing. She's the devils of this forest incarnate, that's what she is. I heard tales of war and demons, stranger, but none as chilling as the widow's. And now she's coming for us. It's a monstrous place. When Unfer first moved us here, it seemed nice enough. We were so happy. Widows spare you. We've still a long way now. What is it that I can do for you? Widows spare you.
My father's got the cough.
Get away from me, you damned nuisance. I'm Alfwig Grilregas. I don't need to put up with the likes of you. Guards! Guards!
These damned boggarts.
The barrier around. The deep slumber predicted your coming, as it did many things about you. You were meant to find the staves, to reforge them, and ultimately to keep them. Those of my kind do not flinch from the winter, but the nights grow exceptionally cold and the air holds the stench of decay. Mortals, it seems, will outlast us all. Take the staffs, wield them. They have called you as they once called down the lightning and lit the earth with fire. Do not lose heart on your perilous journey. Farewell.
around the How much longer are we going to be out here?
Be mindful of your actions.
Hail. I am General Talera ap Gwydion, former commander of the Eastern Alpha Forces. Surely you're not the aide Aelin Shear promised. She spoke as if she planned to send a whole squad of soldiers, not one faceless mercenary. You have the bearing of one that's seen combat, but you never fought in the war, or you would know who I am. Once I was the commander of Mel Sen Shear, the Alpha fortress to the east. I held back the Tuatha at every push before the Baelor came. Then everything fell to pieces. So, she is behind this. That woman. One too many times she's meddled in my affairs, making promises she never intends to keep. Well, perhaps it is for the best. The fewer people involved in my affairs, the better. You see, misfortune follows closely at my heels. It is the lot fate has cast for me. The Baelor is a thing of dread, a Niskaru lord that the Tuatha managed to coerce into fighting on their behalf. Against the Tuatha I had some success, but no ordinary weapon can best the Baelor. One must fight darkness with light. We may be lofty, but we are not weak. Our land is cold and harsh, and we have long studied the noble arts of bow and blade. Across 1,000 battlefields, my spear paints a red masterpiece. Mel Sen Shear is the gateway into Cluricon, but it's been under siege ever since my defeat. I failed the city once. I can't fail them again. With Tuatha raiding parties along the shores, Rathia has the only port for safe passage across the strait. But after assisting Mel Sen Shear for so many years, the ruling council of Rathia is loath to offer more aid for what they see as a lost cause. Ten years ago, I served the Alpha armies, defending Cluricon and Mel Sen Shear from the Tuatha armies. Then, Witch Knight Malwyn led his Tuatha summoners against us. The fiends routed my soldiers at every turn. Now they've had Mel Sen Shear under siege for years, while I've been searching for a weapon to turn the tide. Earl Tusk, the tomb of the Divine Fang, the piercing light. With a weapon like that, I could rally the troops at Mel Sen Shear, and perhaps redeem myself. They say the ruin is guarded by legions of Niskaru, led by a beast known as Azagal. Whether this is true, or the stuff of legend, I don't know. Long after the Arathi left our world, the mortals built these windstones to call them back down. I've never seen them work, but, as I said before, I'm not known for my good fortune. The years have been long since I first learned of the means that might deliver Mel Sen Shear from the Tuatha. It lies in Earl Tusk, beyond a gate fated never to be opened, in a hall awash with Niskaru. Any who seek access to the ruin must face them. These ruins are said to be the resting place of the Piercing Light, a spear carved from the tusk of the Niskaru Duke, Gajor. The legends say it destroys any horror, in the mind or on the battlefield. No place is more deserving of such a power as Mel Sen Shear. For all my years of research, I've only ever found one clue to this puzzle: when the great voices rise in song. It may refer to the wind stones scattered across the plains. They bear a striking resemblance to the stones of this ruin. But that's simply me grasping at answers. Take this chime. It is said to have been taken from the ruin during its construction many centuries ago. I've tried using it on the windstones with no luck. The inscription says the gate will open when the great voices rise in song. I think this means the windstones that are spread across Erethel. There's one just a little to the south. Go there and strike this chime near it. I'll stay here to see if it has any effect. The wind stones are located all across the plains. I can't believe it. The gate shifted? For all my efforts, you simply appear and make it respond. No. You've opened one part of the gate, but 4 more remain. You must find the wind stones scattered throughout the plains and activate them. I will remain here. The Niskara will sense that the seal is weakened. Someone must try to hold them back. Go sound the chime at each windstone in Arethel. That's the only way to open the gates. I'll stay here and fight any Niskara looking to sneak past us.
Another soul who traverses these forsaken crags. I presume that, unlike me, you are here by choice. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Naim Kent, of the Rathir Kents, an Oathblade of the honored and venerable Warsworn Order. I have been tasked with eradicating the beasts that lurk within Talarain, all of them, by myself. A feat that may only take a few decades. I shall be honest with you, I am not one for field work, and my wealth is substantial. If you feel up to the task, I will pay you to kill these beasts for me. Excellent. Finish things quickly, and we shall be up to our elbows in tankards before Winterfeast. Among these ruins are several kobolds making a nuisance of themselves, and it is best to remove them. Rotclaw is a warrior, Blackshriek is among the deadly Nightblade, and King Fang, he is the closest thing the kobolds have to a leader. For the fortune I shall pay you, if not for the glory you shall earn. Fear not, you shall find them lurking somewhere around these ruins. My family was once very important in Talarain. One of my ancestors even served as a commander of the Aster army. However, that was long ago. Now very few of us remain. Myself, for one, and my sister Nymeria, who is usually not far. She prefers to keep an eye on me. Niam Kent, scion of the Rethier Kents, master of fortunes vast and ill-spent. I am not one to tout my lineage, so please suppress your curiosity and ask no more of it. The command of Helmgard has tasked me with eradicating the monsters from Talarain. Rather beneath my station, if you were to ask me, though Helmgard feels this work is, shall we say, compensation for past deeds. I am of the Warsworn, bound to my service by oath. I serve the command at Helmgard. It is Helmgard who, shall we say, reassigned me to Talarain to rid the lands of the creatures that infest them. I do not care too much for this place myself, but then again, I did not come here by choice. Well, perhaps we shall speak later.
Stranger, please. I am being hunted by Fair Gorta. The bones of all my forebears mean to kill me.
They are the bones of all my fallen family. I am of an ancient line, and the curse it bears is almost as old. When a Skaith dies, the magic of the curse raises his bones and forces them to hunt its descendants. Nothing of its life remains. Just a hunger for Skaith blood. They will not stop until the line is dead, and I fear I am the last. But this curse need not end with my death, if you are willing to help me. I must exile myself from my family. In ancient Alfar tradition, members of the family or clan could be banished forever with the proper ceremony. This stronghold was my family's seat. It contains the solemn bell, the Codex Skaith, and my birth candle. All components for the ritual of banishment I must complete. We should begin. Meet me in Dove Whale, and we shall get underway. The solemn bell is not far from the entrance of Dove Whale. If my research is correct, it should be near the old assembly hall. It has been centuries since it was rung last. It is no ordinary bell, and can only be rung using Skaith magic. Let us disturb its slumber. The Aster family was once the powerful leader of this land. The bloodline ended when a war erupted between the two Aster brothers. Without a unifying ruler, Talarain fell to what it is today. A castle abandoned by the Aster family, and later taken over by my ancestors. According to my texts, it became our great and glorious hall. Then my family became cursed, and the hall, like the rest of us, fell into ruin. I do not wish to speak about myself any more than I have to. Not while the curse hangs over my head. The Skaiths were once prolific and powerful. But generations ago, one Skaith desired more. So a Fae offered him great power in exchange for his family's souls. The Fae later told him that it meant not the souls of the Skaith's immediate family, but of every Skaith that was and would be. Thus the curse was born. The name of that one Skaith was lost. So now I call him first. As for my ancestors, the curse animates their bones and gives them hunger. For my life. This is the home of my ancestors. It was once a beautiful place. It has fallen to ruin and become overrun with monsters. Stay quiet. I need you to escort me to the Solemn Bell in order to stop the bones of my ancestors from hunting me. Let us be quick. Solemn Bell. The ritual says I must speak the magic words to make it ring several times, and announce my intent on leading the Skaith family. Leading them to battle, I mean, to peace. Yes, that is what I meant. Leading them to eternal peace. Let us be quick. It is done. If the bones of my ancestors did not know we were here, they do now. Now to the library, where I can find the Codex Skaith. Stay quiet. this door. Do you not sense it?
Oh, it is as I feared. The Scrivener is here after all. I cannot go in that room, not while he is there.
In life, he bound the names of my ancestors to the Codex Scaith, and thus was the keeper of the names of our line. He fought the family's curse, tried to safeguard our names, but his battle was lost, and he became the worst of them. The Scrivener is powerful. I do not wish to face it, even if it is only bones and magic. Please, kill him quickly. Let us be quick. Now that the Scrivener is dead, it is safe for me here. However, I was expecting this place to be in better condition. Well, I suppose this is what happens to a library after a few centuries of neglect. Ah! But here is the Codex. Keep them off my back while I find my name. Let us be quick. I have added my name to the Codex Scaith. Yes, I added my name. I will explain later. No time now. Hurry. We must find my birth candle and finish the ritual. Stay quiet. I must find my candle amongst these. It will not be long now. Stay quiet. It is no longer here. My birth candle has been taken from its holder. It has been taken, so I cannot complete the ritual. If I cannot extinguish the candle's flame, then I will only have a short time before the monsters reach me. The first must have taken it. He is the progenitor, not like the others, for he has never truly died. Yes, the hunger consumes his soul, but his body still lives. His tomb should not be far. Please, warrior, I must be free of this all. Help me reclaim that candle. Not far from the candle room, there is the family sepulchre. That is the resting place of the first. Let us be quick.
You must be a fool to follow Fatir around under false pretenses of some family curse. There is a curse only on Fatir's ancestors, not Fatir himself, nor is he being hunted by us. This ritual of his is not to free us from the curse. It is to take control of his ancestors and raise them as his personal army. If you do not believe me, you can go ask Fatir yourself. But if you give him to me, I will be able to release my family from this curse. If you must. The castle once was home to the Astor family, but after they were wiped out, the Scaiths moved in. It was a glorious hall, but fell to ruin when my family became cursed. Yes, I am the first Scaith, the one who is responsible for my family's suffering. The power I gained was not worth the years of torture my family has endured. The only way to end this curse is to allow my family to finally know peace. Many years ago, a Fae offered me great power in exchange for my family's souls. Overcome by a craving to have this power, I gave in to my selfish desires. Ever since, my family has not been able to rest in peace. Once the curse is broken, I can give them the peace they seek.
It is true. There is no curse on me. Only upon my ancestors. This ritual will raise an army under my command. One of my ancestors was a leader of the Aster forces long ago. It is my family's duty to protect Talarain, but I cannot do so on my own. With an army of my ancestors under my command, I will be able to keep Talarain safe. Stay quiet.
Please, help my family find the peace for which they have sought. All you have to do is turn Fatir over to me. Fatir will not give in easily. I will need your assistance in slaying him. Thank you for freeing my ancestors and myself from the curse. We will finally be at peace. In return for your wisdom, I offer you what little I can. The Skaiths amassed much wealth in life, and it is useless to us now. Our tombs carry the gifts for you. And now, I rest.
The mortals marched unto our golden plains. Fair folk some, and dusky others. They found the rocks and rising of this land pleasing. They asked for it, but it was not ours to give. Cleaving stone and burning root, they made a kingdom for themselves, and named it Talarain.
Good riddance to the kobolds. Now on to more fierce fare. Many a beast still needs to be slain, and there is one such beast, a Croddock, that awaits you outside of Corgan Hold. I have given him the name Smiler, not that he has the intellect to understand what it means. Smiler lurks near the entrance to Corgan Hold. Killing him will take a bit of ferreting, and be careful, he knows these ruins well. Well, perhaps we shall speak later. Ah, Smiler has fallen. I would raise a glass to the creature's demise, but raising one too many glasses is one reason I was reassigned here to Talarain. Well, you have done your share by ridding the world of him, but there are still beasts that need to be slain. And this particular beast, Colmere, will not be as easy to kill as the others. Colmere is an Etin, a war priest who has made camp in Talarain. The Etin are not very intelligent creatures, but they compensate this with their strength. Well, perhaps we shall speak later. Salutations. You have slain Smiler and Colmere, both formidable enemies to be certain, yet mindless things, easily outwitted. The real challengers are these Jotun. There is a Jotun, a chieftain not far from here. Malgar is his name. Talarain must be rid of him. Be cautious. They may appear brutish, but the Jotun are much more intelligent than the other creatures you may have seen in Talarain. Well, perhaps we shall speak later.
Hello. My name is Lannis Davrill. I'm a mage of the Scholia Arcana. I don't suppose you have any spare time on your hands. I could use your help with my current research. I have been working on a new type of magic to track the slaying of beasts. I have vials of clear liquid, which, in theory, will change color once a specific number of monsters have been slain. I believe I have perfected the formula, though I could use a hand in testing it out. Then hunt down the desecrator of these ruins. Kobolds, Krudix, Etten, and those miserable Jotun. I will pay you when these 4 vials have changed color. 1 vial should change after you've slain 10 kobolds. 1 after 5 Krudix. 1 after 3 Etten. And the last after 3 of the Jotun. Good hunting. There are plenty lurking around Talarain, but please don't feel limited to these lands. There are monsters everywhere that must be vanquished. Feel free to go where you wish, as long as you return to me with the vials. I am a mage of the Scholia Arcana. I have come to Talarain to test some new magic that I have devised. The nearest chapter house is in the city of Rathir. I am only tenuously associated with them. I prefer to spend most of my time here, where there's no one to bother me. This place is full of monsters, which makes it the perfect place for me to test new magic. Well, perhaps we'll speak later.
With Malgar out of the way, all that is left to remove from Talarain are the dregs. That should only take a few years. Well, so be it. Take the money you have earned. What is this? Tell me something. Are you in the habit of just walking into people's houses uninvited? Does that ever end poorly? I'd think most people would object to strangers rifling through their things. Of course, I am not most people. Come to think of it, it has been too long since I've enjoyed the conversation of strangers. Now that is the question, isn't it? I'm going to need time to figure that out. Which gives you plenty of time to get us some refreshments. Have you ever heard of the Realte Brocaire? It is a particularly rare vintage from the north. Why don't you travel to Lucky Mine and root around a bit? Find a bottle of the Realte Brocaire for us to share, and then we'll talk. I haven't tasted its sweet sorrow since I was a young warlord. Bring me a bottle and I'll tell you all about those long-forgotten days. Not many choose to live upon the flooded plains of Acatha. Between the Tuatha and the Wild Fae, it is a place of little worth. Still, I like to call it home. You wish to know of me? I'm not that interesting, I promise. Once, Candrian was a small kingdom whose borders included the land of Acatha. The lords of Candrian ruled from a great keep to the southeast. Now it is little more than a dilapidated fortress looming over a run-down village south of here. The war has bled it dry. Until later, then.
Yeah? What are you looking at? Wait, you look like a capable sort. Might have a job for someone capable. We set out, against orders, mind you, from Meleglir to put down this nasty brigand named Conover. Found him, and his followers too, but there were more of them than we expected. The few of my unit left alive only barely escaped. If you could finish Conover, I can pay you. Great. Head south to the Fiend's camp. It's huge, lousy with every rogue and thief in the region. Shouldn't be hard to locate. Report to me when Conover's dead, and I'll see that you're rewarded. His camp is south of here, near the hollow of Kaatosai. Poor gnome. His daughter was kidnapped by Conover's thieves. Whatever they have in store for her, it won't be pretty. Not just a thief, but a slaver. Scum of the worst kind. They say he used to be in the Kandrian Guard, but got fed up and deserted. Took up robbing, and worse, slaving, gathering Kandrian's worst thieves and rogues under his command. I've been a member of the Kandrian Guard for several years. We used to patrol all of Kandrian, but now his lordship has mostly confined us to his keep and Melaglir. The old poltroon has forbidden the Guard to deploy beyond Melaglir. We disobeyed orders to march this far. Most folk believe he's doing what's best for the town, but not me. I can't sit idly by and do nothing. He can take my head if he wants it. Not like I get to use it much anymore. The people of Melaglir hide in their village, hoping the war will just pass them by. Fine for them, as long as they don't think too much about the people that can't hide under some lord's skirts. May you deliver Conover unto hell.
I need your help, please. My daughter Julia has been kidnapped by bandits. Those animals left me for dead and took her. I'm a tinker, for fate's sake. What kind of savages attack a tinker? Julia is the only family I have left. Will you help me? The bandits here are fierce, led by one called Conover. He attacked us in broad daylight when we were trying to leave this place. I've lived my whole life on these roads. I know full well that the price of travel is a bit of coin in the pocket of the local thugs. But these fiends took my daughter. I'll pay anything I have to get her back. Will you find her? Thank you. I heard Conover tell his men to put her with the rest of the lot before selling them. For fate's sake, hurry! I hope you fare better than those Kandrian Guard clowns. Most of them didn't last long enough to see the bandit camp. I want my daughter back. I'll pay you with all the gold I have. Those animals took her to a camp to the south. Be careful. They're a rough-looking lot. I'd suggest you to use diplomacy, but from the looks of you, I suspect you speak a different language. Whatever it takes, I don't care. Get me my daughter back and I'll reward you as best I can. Most gnomes favor the bustling city life of Adessa. Not me. Oh, no, sir. Ever since I was a young boy, the open road beckoned. So I've walked the roads of Erethel, Dalantarth, and Detir for 40 years, selling my services to anyone who can pay. Lately, though, it seems the world is growing more dangerous. Worse than it's ever been. At least for as long as I can remember. If it were me, I'd steer clear of Conover himself at all costs. Her mother passed away when Julia was young. I've done my best, but sometimes I think she takes care of me more than I take care of her. I've been teaching her the tinker trade, but I'm not sure life on the road suits her. Worthless bunch of clods. They attacked the bandits head-on and got themselves slaughtered. Crawled back here to lick their wounds. Whatever you do, stay away from that cursed place. With bandits to the west and Tuatha raiders to the north, the village already had its fair share of trouble. Now I hear tell of people vanishing in the night. Whatever's happening there, it can't be good. Good luck out there.
Helen. Ah, a bottle of the Rialte Brocaire. This is going to treat me right. Yes, indeed. You've done me quite the boon fetching this, though I'll admit it leads me to outrageous wagers. For instance this. If you can complete 8 labors of my choosing, I shall give you the treasures of Erethel. It is rare I meet a stranger such as yourself, and I would like to take this opportunity to set things right. I assure you the reward will be well worth it. Excellent! You've already fetched the Rialte Brocaire for me. That can count as the first of the 8 labors. Well done. Now, your next task. Take this letter to a man named Matix Dace in the village of Condrian to the south. That is all. Matix Dace is the resident brewmaster of the Condrian Inn. He spent his entire life behind that bar. When you give him the letter, it's probably best if you don't mention me immediately. Let him figure things out for himself. He was once a kind man, good for a laugh or an encouraging word. When I kidnapped his sister, though, something inside him snapped, and I cannot blame him, of course. Farewell.
From the dark of north he came, sword alight with frosted blood, to starkly carve a kingdom from a land of stone and flood. A hero true, a warrior born, his deeds the bards did daily sing. Exultingly they crowned him king.
Welcome. You're not from around here, are you? I am Eli Thames, and I could use your help with a delicate task. Lord Candrian wears a large ceremonial signet ring. He removes it only to sleep. I need you to go to Candrian Keep and steal it. Ever since Indre Candrian became Lord, the Candrian Guard have not left the area around his keep. The Tuatha are raiding the Candrian coast, entirely unchecked, and this gravely worries the citizens of Rathir. We wish to inspire Lord Candrian to leave his keep and drive the Tuatha back into the sea, and the ring is the first step. Excellent. I'm told that Lord Candrian keeps it in his bedroom in Candrian Keep. Obtain the ring and return to me for another task. Lord Candrian keeps the ring in his bedroom in Candrian Keep. Why, I am but a humble agent of change, endeavoring to be in the right place at the right time. Candrian was once the safest region in all of Erethel. No one dared to challenge the Candrian Guard. Now, with the Tuatha raiding up and down the coast, the Guard do nothing but protect Lord Candrian as he cowers in his keep. The keep is in the southeast corner of Candrian. Supposed to be impenetrable when it's sealed, but I've heard rumors that one could sneak inside through a cavern below it. Inre Candrian became Lord just before the Crystal War began. When the Tuatha invaded, he retreated to his keep and refused to come out. Left all Candrian to die just to save himself and his precious family name. I'd heard it was a quiet town, but now I hear whispers of people mysteriously disappearing during the night. I haven't left the inn since I arrived. Rathir is the great city of the Dockelfar, up the coast a ways. It's old and beautiful, but don't hold a candle to Odessa if you ask me. Another time, then.
What'll it be? Is that so? Let's take a look. That bastard! He murders my dear sister Jera in cold blood, then waits 30 years and thinks a note will make everything right. You tell Durfel that if I ever see him again, I'm going to gut him. You'd better run along now, and don't forget to tell Durfel that Mel Aglear'd be nothing but a cinder too if we weren't a quick march from Lord Candrian's keep. I suppose his lordship could live with letting his people die, but not if he could hear them screaming while it happened. Been running the inn here in Mel Aglear all my life. My father was proprietor before me, and his father before him. Used to be we could count on travelers passing through here every week, but now we're lucky to have any visitors at all. We have the finest accommodations in Erethel. Would you like to rent a room? Very well. We will always have room if you change your mind.
Hello. What may Durant Alagus do for you? Trading goods in Meleglir is just a necessity for me. I've always wanted to travel and study the esoteric elements of alchemy. But alas, where can one find time for such pursuits? This land is old, my friend. Old indeed. Used to be that the lords of the Alfar ruled over much of the Arathel from the keep to the east of here. But time brings change, I suppose. Now it's just the keep and this village. Meleglir was never a particularly bustling town, but with the recent disappearances and the Tuatha Raiders nearby, few visitors come here anymore. It makes me sad.
Do you have something to...